Welcome to your practice. This week, Camel Pose. Remember never to judge your body where it's at right now. Just practice. You'll feel progress sooner than you think. A full beginner guide with all my tips and tricks is linked down below. Now let's begin. Begin by just standing on your knees. Your knees are as wide as your hips. For a deeper experience, place a block between your legs. But you can also do this without the block. Don't worry. So again, knees hip width apart. Try not to squeeze your bum. Relax your bum. Press the roof of your feet and all 10 toes down into the mat. For a beginner, this will feel tricky at first, but it gets better with time, I promise. It may help for you to imagine that everything that it's touching the mat is a replacement for your feet. So pretend your knees, your shins, and your feet, the roof of your feet and your toes are a replacement for your foot, where we usually automatically, naturally spread the weight evenly. With this foundation in the back of your mind, try and pull your legs away from another, your knees away from another, feeling an activation in the inner thighs. Now, focusing on this activation, pretend that you want to spiral your inner thighs to the back wall. If you can't feel this, that's totally fine. You will next time. Now begin to just lift your chest up towards the sky, as if someone has tied a belt around you and is pulling that right now and you're hanging free, kinda. This is only a minimum movement. Don't come into a full chest opening. Still concentrating on that firm foundation of the legs and feet. Keep your chin slightly tucked or gaze up to the sky, whatever feels best. Try and pull your shoulders away from your ears. Whilst remaining in the chest lifting, bring your hands to the top of your bum, feeling the support allowing you to go further into this pose. And now in this position, squeeze your glutes and feel the difference. The more you squeeze, the less your back hurts and the deeper you can move into the pose. Lift your chest up. Pretend someone's pulling the belt. Simultaneously, gain awareness of your tailbone. Pretend you have a dog's tail and you're trying to point your tail downwards, bringing it between your legs, creating a feeling of length through the lower back. Now take one more deep, mindful breath and then slowly come out of the pose. Maybe come into a child's pose for a counter position, or just sit on your heels, whatever feels good to you. Now just take a moment to process everything that you just had to think about and everything that you felt. It's important to establish a good foundation of awareness when you're practicing yoga, because you can actually hurt yourself when you strain yourself into a pose. Many see a pretty picture on Instagram and then force their body to move into this position without really knowing what to be aware of, and that can be dangerous. So take it slow and explore step by step. That's why I'm breaking this down for you. On your next breath, come back up onto the knees, hip width. Remember that foundation rooting down through your feet, your toes, your shins, and your knees. Slightly pressing the knees away from each other, feeling the engagement in the inner thighs, rotating, spiraling them towards the back wall, bringing your hands to the top of your bum. Now squeeze your bum and tuck your tail, creating length in the lower back, and feeling your upper body automatically lift and open as you do so. With every inhale you grow longer, and with every exhale you sink deeper into the heart opening. Someone's pulling you up with that belt, simultaneously feeling your dog's tail pull down towards the ground. In other words, lift your rib cage up and away from your pelvis. Think of this as an up bend rather than a back bend. If you're ready, we can take this a step further, bringing the tops of your hands to the heels, slowly and with control. If you're a beginner, I can recommend using 2 blocks to gain awareness here, not fully resting on the blocks, just using them to gain awareness. Many really put all their weight onto the blocks, which makes them a wobbly situation and it can be dangerous. So we're not resting, we are just using them as an exploration tool. Always do whatever feels best for your head. Don't overdo it here. You can injure yourself, especially if you have neck problems. Make sure to keep your chin tucked or to just slightly gaze up, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, creating space here. If you know that you can, then allow your head to drop back and maybe see the wall behind you. But if you're a beginner, I would do this under the supervision of a yoga teacher if you're doing it for the first time. If this is anyhow straining, then come out of the pose whenever you feel like you have to. If not, just hang around and breathe and feel what you're feeling. For me, that's enough. I'm coming out into a wide-legged child's pose. Now, wherever you're at, resting or still in the pose, go through a full body scan. Your feet, your shins, your knees, your inner thighs, your bum, your tailbone. Moving the awareness to the upper body, the chest, the shoulders, the head. Let this experience sink in deep. Please give this video a like if it helped you in any way. And if you are interested in more, don't forget to subscribe. And remember, if you want a deeper dive with fast results, a link to my course is down below. See you next week. From my heart to yours. Namaste.